Once we have uploaded GameFlow engine, we can find in Toolbar, MKM Tools, GameFlow Engine Flow Graph, where we can create our GameFlow. There are two options before opening the flow graph. Load serves to open existing graph, while second serves to create new one. Once we have picked the Create option, pick the location of our GameFlow in the Unity project path, then give any desired name to our GameFlow. To create a new block, right-click on any point of graph, then pick any block type and give any name. The dialog block allows us to make static dialogue between speakers, like NPCs and/or player. The Reach Scene Trigger block requests player to reach the location of the trigger on the scene. Blocks are connected in the following way. By default, all next blocks of any block are executed. However, in some cases, we need only one or some blocks to be executed. Also, we can set active objects on scene or instantiate them. Also, as we can see, there is parameter called min number of successful parents, which means that this block will start executing only if the minimum number of parents will be successful. If this condition is impossible, the block fails. Event block informs subscribers about some events inside the game. For example, once the game is over, we inform all subscribed scripts about it. To destroy the link between the nodes, pick the edge by left-click and press Delete. Also, you can copy past nodes using Ctrl-C and Ctrl-V. To put blocks in correct positions, click Arrange Node Positions. To run our GameFlow, we need to add GameFlow Runner component and assign the appropriate GameFlow. To connect our asset-based GameFlow with Scene, we need to use keys. There are two types of keys, auto and manual. Both are converted to string. However, automatic one uses its quid, while manual one requires our own input. Note the keys should be unique within one GameFlow. If inside the event block event holder is left empty, the default one will be used. Further, we will make our own Reach NPC block. Also, in many cases, we need to create our own realization of the dialog box. Then let's come to realization. Our dialog box. The text where character's phrase appears, our player and NPC keys, and colors of player and NPC accordingly. On awake, we disable the box. Then when we turn it on, when we start the dialog, the next phrase will be shown after pressing the Enter key and half-second delay. As we can see, the color of text is assigned according to the keys of the phrase. After the dialog ends, we need to call invoke completed. Once the dialog box code has been written, we need to add this component to any game object and assign dependencies. Next, we will come to the selection block. Here, talk with NPC and reach someplace, our blocks, whose ID will be used to choose the next piece of flow, In other words, one of the next blocks after the selection node should be picked. In addition to node IDs, we can want some time to make the choice by returning false in isChosen method. Also, pressing 1 on the keyboard, we will talk with NPC, while pressing 2, we will reach someplace. As before, we should add our component to some game object and assign appropriate blocks. As you can see, all blocks are stored inside the GameFlow. To register our scene dependencies, we need to assign appropriate keys and objects. Note that dependency is object type, hence be careful when assigning to avoid incorrect type selection. Using such technique, we can assign not only our scripts, but game objects, transforms, and default Unity components like rigid body. Here, we define which objects will be turned on or off. Sometimes we don't want to create some scene objects manually, for example, trigger with location of our NPC. So let's create a short custom block. Here we can see the future location of our trigger, like NPC location and trigger prefab. Here we get our transform, and here we check that the trigger has been spawned. If not, we spawn it and subscribe to trigger enter. When we touch trigger, the node will be successfully completed. Also, there are 4 node states: success, failure, running, and default 1, not started. Running is used when we need some time to decide is node ended successfully or not. Now let's recreate our NPC block. Since we have deleted previous block, we should configure the selection block. Also, we need the UI manager that will show the game state. Here we have the keys. Using them, we can subscribe to events according to given keys and react on these events. Also, there is our runner and text, which we will change. As always, we need to add the UI manager to any component, but we do not need to register it. Let's see our result.